So there's going to be some really big changes to this next iPhone, and I cannot believe how many things are actually going to be changing within these next generation of devices. Now, the very first thing I want to state is that if you currently own the iPhone SE, if you currently own an iPhone 14 or 14 Pro Max, I would not even recommend upgrading at all. But there's going to be some enticing things if you even own an iPhone 14 to actually go up to the iPhone 15. Now, the very first thing that's kind of came out the last few days was actually more of the hardware changes with like the small little things within the outside of this device, which makes me think that definitely if you have an iPhone 14, none of the cases, none of the screen protectors, I think, are going to be transferable over to the next generation of iPhones. So keep that in mind. Now, for one, it looks like the camera bumps on the back could actually end up being a little bit, I'm assuming a little bit more smaller or a little bit less big. With the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus camera modules, they weren't that crazy big, but the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, they had massive cameras, which was awesome. You can get, bigger sensors in there, which is awesome, but there has to be better technology. There has to be a better way of making these phones not so top heavy. With the iPhone 14 Pro Max, that phone is very, very top heavy, and that could be kind of an annoying thing for some people out there, including myself. So in this specific situation, what I would recommend doing Apple to do is pretty much do exactly what they plan on doing, which is kind of shrinking those specific camera modules. Now, another rumor that's been going around is actually with the display getting bigger on the iPhone 15, not the Pro Max or the Pro models, I don't think, maybe with the Pro, but with the iPhone 15s, the display is going to be getting bigger, but the phone overall is going to have a smaller footprint than the previous generation. Now, this is probably going to be due to the smaller bezels around the 15, so that's going to be insane. If Apple ends up doing that, they're going to have a phone that already has very little bezel. They're going to be shrinking the bezels even more on that device, and they're going to be giving us a little bit tiny bit of a bigger display. And since the base 15 and 15 Plus are going to be getting that dynamic island as well, hopefully that dynamic island is smaller a little bit. I'm really hoping that's the case. Or if they can on the Pro and Pro Max, at least put a smaller, hole punch display on there. I'm hoping that's what's going to end up happening. But that's going to be another cool thing that's going to be there too. We're also expected to get USB-C. I think that's going to be another crazy thing that's going to be happening here. And overall, when I look at something like the iPhone 15, I definitely do think Apple's going to be taking a really, really good approach here. Definitely not going to be perfect, but coming from an iPhone 14, I think this is a really good way that Apple's going to go ahead and win over a lot more people when they released the iPhone 14. Very, very little upgrade. I was surprised they even made that phone. They could have just made the iPhone 13 again, but with the iPhone 15, it's looking like, they're going to have newer chipsets. They're going to have a better design, I'm assuming. So at least there's something there, right? So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, but that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.